Welcome to Magic Card Talk, a series where I review and talk about a randomly chosen Magic card. I do no research unless it's any updated ruling of the card itself. Everything must be by memory if there are other cards I think work well for the card we get for the episode. Today we are looking at Alright, today's episode is with Fling. Oh, I'm really excited about this because this is going to be a really easy episode. Fling is a red instant that is 1 red, 1 colorless. As an additional cost to cast Fling, sacrifice a creature. Fling deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target creature or player. I love Fling. Fling is so good because it could be used for so many card synergies. For example, it could be easily used for a card that wants to die, or just a creature that just gets huge and you just hit someone for a ton of damage. I ran Fling when I used to play Prosh. I used to sacrifice a ton of tokens into Prosh, attack, and then, if Prosh is alive, use Fling to, hit someone for a lot of damage. On the other side of that, if I attack and someone tries to kill Prosh, I can just use Fling to sacrifice him and just deal the damage regardless. The other thing about Fling is it's really good for those kind of decks that want something to die to trigger something. For example, I would actually run Fling, I don't remember if I'm running it right now, in Shadow. The reason why is because I want my creatures to die to draw the card. So why not? It just works. I use Fling, sacrifice a creature with haste or flash, get the card draw from the death trigger, and I get to do the damage that I need to do. I wouldn't be surprised if some people actually use Fling with the Eldrazi Titans, because the Eldrazi Titans are just massive in size. They're just big. They're big, huge, and can deal a lot. I would imagine some decks that have red that somehow have a boost in power, like maybe a red-green deck where you put a ton of counters on something, this would be used a lot. It should be used a lot, because if you're making giant freaking dudes, you should be dealing damage. Heck, I would argue that Hydra decks should run this, because Hydras just get big. They're so big. And if they're having an issue trying to get through, which they shouldn't, because most Hydras, to my knowledge, have trample, then you just Fling it. You send it at someone. Sacrifice it, delete a player, or even a creature. Some people kind of forget that Fling also could target creatures, but the common play is to hit the player because you just build something big. You get a big dude. Can I emphasize this anymore? You get a giant dude into play, you use Fling, and just delete a player. I'm not even joking. How many times has people actually targeted a creature? I'm trying to think if there's ever a situation where you use Fling to kill, a creature with it, but I can't think of any. The fact that Fling is instant speed is also really good, because if it's not your turn and say someone's going to board wipe and you just need enough power to kill a player or get them into a kill range, you go, oh, in response, I'm going to cast Fling and just kill my big dude. The same could be said if someone's trying to steal your cards, like in Commander, if someone's trying to take your commander, you could just go, nah, I'm gonna Fling it. This card is universally so good. Now, I'm not saying it belongs in every red deck, because it doesn't belong in every red deck. It needs to be a specific deck. Like I said, I ran in Prosh because I made Prosh huge. Prosh, being a huge creature, is just good for damage. I run it in Shadow. Again, don't remember if it is actually in there or not, but I'm pretty sure I am. I'm running it Shadow so I can actually kill my dudes and get multiple triggers going. So it works for that deck. Would I run this in Sirach Dragonclaw, for example? No, I don't think I would. Yes, I play big dudes, but what does Fling get me out of that? It's a combat heavy deck. There are probably other commanders that are red that it doesn't work for the deck. Would you run this in a Grenzo deck? Okay, maybe. It depends how big the goblins get. But the point is, it doesn't belong in every single deck. It works for what it needs to be worked for. Also, I want to point out, and I did look at the card's art because, the episode's pretty much at the end. I totally forgot that this card has the funniest secret lair where it's throw teammate. I I love this art. I love it. It's great. It fits perfectly. But the point is, Fling is just so good of a card. This card definitely gets an A+ ranking for me. It's amazing. It's useful. It's never a bad card. The only way they would ever make this bad is if they, I don't know, change the ruling where you can't target a player. But even then, it's a red kill spell. That's really what it is. And it's also damage. I forgot, you could just double damage effects and do more things. I'm thinking about more things you can do with this card, and it's just good all over. It's amazing. A+ for sure.